Welcome to the Third Win channel and another installment of Angels and Devils, a series on this channel where we take a look at a movie or TV show and rank its characters from most good to most evil morally. Today we land on Cobra Kai, which just aired its 4th season on Netflix, and I love the show, so I figured, hey, let's do an Angels and Devils. Our definitions for good and evil are on screen right now, but we have 30 characters to go through, so let's get straight into the ranking, starting off with an honorary mention of Mr. Miyagi, who deserves a new title, Legendary Angel. Even though he's passed away, 2 generations ahead of him are still using his lessons, teachings, morals, whether it be to in life or in fighting. I think he's just the ultimate mentor and a legendary character, so he deserved to be mentioned. But now let's start with our real ranking, with number 30 being Moon, who is our angel of the show. I love how Moon always, she's friends with both Cobra Kai, Miyagi-Do historically, and she's always tried to make her friends kind of not fight, she's always peace, not war. And beyond this goodwill at a young age that she has, she's also a bit of a purifier for Hawk. Hawk went from being bullied to being the ultimate bully, where Moon said, hey, look, this is not going to work. I'm breaking up with you. I don't want anything to do with you. And now it's gone full circle where Hawk has realized his bad ways, and just looking at Moon is kind of a purifying factor for him. He's realized what Moon was trying to say, and he's become good again. So Moon definitely deserves all the praise she gets, and she's the angel of the show for me. Moving on, we got KUMIKO, who is just the purest heart. She always has been, dating back to Karate Kid 2, all the way to now. She's always looking out for her friends and her family, and there's nothing but goodness in her heart. So she had to be number 29, good for me. Moving on, number 28, we have DEMETRI, who is maybe a surprise for some of you, but I don't know if enough people have thought about this, but he's always been on the defense. He's always been there for his closest friends. Yes, he's been slightly snarky sometimes, but for example, when Hawk completely betrayed him, broke his arm, he was still willing to forgive him. And in his darkest hour in season 4, he even walked up to him and said, hey, look, don't give up on your dreams. Come back to Miyagi-Do, come do karate. And as a result, Hawk won the All Valley. So DEMETRI is just this ultimate good character. He's also very funny. Moving on, number 27, we have Miguel, who, I mean, some people might say this is a bit of a controversial pick. Maybe he should be slightly more on the evil side. He's had some really nasty fights and whatnot, but I like to compare him to early day Daniel. I know some people also call him evil, but he is good-spirited. He will do the right thing. As an example, for example, when Hawk stole the Medal of Valor, or Miyagi's ultimate medal for his service in the military, when Miguel found out about Hawk stealing this, he fought him for the medal, he took it, and he brought it back to Daniel, even being part of Cobra Kai. So this, to me, showed great character, and I think Miguel is a good kid at heart. Moving on, we have Amanda, who, in a similar fashion to Moon, has kind of been the voice of reason in the show. She said, hey guys, stop fighting. You guys are 40, 50 years old, and now you're fighting over some dojos. And she's always tried to bring peace between the dojos. Obviously, why is she higher on the list? She has gotten involved in some of the kids, and she's done some things that are not so good with the kids. But generally speaking, she's the voice of reason. She's been very good in the show, so she deserves this number 26 spot. Number 25, we have Carmen, who I think would be higher on the list, but at the very end of season 4, we got a big shocker, which kind of just blurred her whole character for me, which was that she never told Miguel's real father that Miguel exists, which, I don't know, maybe that makes her completely evil or not, or maybe she's just looking out for her son and wants the best for him, considering that the husband or the man was such a bad man. I don't know what to make of her, but I think that Carmen, still at heart, is a good mom who's looking out for him, and even Johnny, so I think she deserves to be number 25. Moving on, we have probably the most controversial pick on this whole list, because there are countless videos proving that Daniel's the bad guy and whatnot from the original Karate Kid movies, and then now, even, like, yes, he's the voice of reason and he's good, but his head gets clouded as Daniel's character is, but in the end, he always tries to help the students and tries to help everyone become better, think about defense rather than offense. He is a peace bringer, and he is ultimately carrying on Miyagi's legacy, which I think is super valuable. And if you think about it, if you saw some kid, or if Daniel saw some kid on the street who really needed help, he would be the one to pull over, whereas Johnny, at least, especially old Johnny, would definitely keep driving. So that comparison between Daniel and Johnny, I think there's no comparison. I think Daniel's the better guy, and I think he is a good guy, just like he was in the original movies. Next up, we got Rose, number 23, and there's nothing, she's fairly neutral in the show, but she is still very positive, always wants the best for Miguel, and I love that. And she is a bit of a badass herself, but yeah, she's good. Moving on, we got 22 Chris, and what sets Chris apart from some of his other students is that when he saw that Cobra Kai was going too far, he pulled the plug and left. He's always been really reluctant to doing things that are kind of evil, and I really appreciate this in Chris, so he gets the good tag. Moving on, we got Nathan, and for the same reasons as Chris, he deserves to be good. When he saw his best friend Bert becoming evil, he said, no, let's not do this, and Bert refused, so he left and joined Miyagi-Do, which was the best choice, to be honest. That's why these two characters deserve to be good. Next up, we got our first neutral character. Our first character we're mentioning in Cobra Kai. On the bottom right, I'm putting symbols for the dojos, but it's Piper. She's a bit of a new character, but there's nothing much to say about her. I think she's just a straight neutral. She's not done anything evil or anything good per se, so she's going to be neutral. And just as a bit of a clarification for neutral characters, if you're in neutral, it doesn't mean you're evil or you're good. It just means that you haven't really shown much in being good or evil. Like you're just kind of you're just kind of there for now. But there's gonna be a lot of neutral characters because I don't want to label anyone evil who isn't. So I'm going to be very careful with labeling someone evil. So there's gonna be a lot of neutrals. But number 19, we have a new character in Devon. She shows a lot of spirit, and I think she's going to be a great fighter. And she is neutral. She's just kind of there for now. She hasn't done anything morally bad or good. So, yeah, Devon's great. Moving on, we have Anush, who is, I think, the definition of a neutral character. He's kind of there. He doesn't want to make a mess of anything. He throws some snarky comments here and there, but he doesn't want to get into trouble with anyone. He's just neutral. Moving on, we got Aisha, who you could argue that she's good or evil, but I think she's done some bad things and some good things. But in the end, it seems like she has found her peace, and I think she deserves to be the neutral category, number 17. Number 16, we got Bert, who is one of those kids who decided to be more on the evil side rather than on the good side. Well, evil, quote unquote, but he's part of Eagle Fang right now, and I think that being about in the middle is somewhere where he should be. He's not evil per se, he's not good per se, but yeah, he's just neutral in the middle somewhere. Next up, we got Sam, who at first she would definitely be more geared towards good, but at this point she's done too many bad things, and she's done good things, she's done bad things, so it's kind of equaled out in a way to be neutral. She cheated on her ex once, and she started some fights, and she's kind of been poking Tori a bit too much, to the point where I think that Sam's done more bad things to Tori than Tori has done to Sam. So yeah, she deserves to be neutral. Definitely isn't quite like her father. Moving on, we got another neutral at number 14. We got Stingray. So Stingray is originally someone who I wanted to put in good, but looking further into the character, like, yes, I love his spirit, and I love how he wants to help these kids, but at the same time, he did walk into his school and starts beating up kids at the school, which obviously landed him in probation or in jail or something for season 3. That's why we didn't see him there. And also, I was a little conflicted about season 4. Like, I get that he gets beat up and probably his life was threatened, but why did he throw Kreese under the bus when it was really Silver? What could possibly have been the reason for that? I don't know, but Stingray, neutral. I'm very conflicted on this character. Moving on to number 13, we have SHAWN, who in season 4 we find out that he actually landed himself in juvie because he was trying to help his brother, which really redeems his character. And you have to have a bit of a persona in juvie to be kind of healthy and good and not get beat up. So, you know, his kind of pokings and I guess bullying in juvie is not justified, but I can understand it at the very least. And still, when his brother comes, he's still willing to help him and reach out to old contacts to make sure his brother is okay, which I really respect. So he lands himself as a neutral character, number 13. Now we're really starting to get into, we got the top 12 left here. Now we're starting to get into people who probably are leaning themselves more and more into evil. Starting off with Kenny, who, I mean, you could argue either way, but for me, this really feels like one of those Joker villain stories. Like, he's just gonna get more and more evil until he crashes. I think he's gonna be the ultimate Cobra Kai. He's gonna be a scary dude, and I'm not seeing anything bright for Kenny right now. I think he's gonna be really evil and really merciless. So that's why I put him at number 12. Still neutral, not enough to say he's evil yet, but he's going that way. Next up, we got Anthony, who is nothing like his father, shows no respect for any culture, doesn't show any respect to any rules, bullies kids, or even if he doesn't want to, just goes along with it, which is a terrible sign of character. So for me, like, I couldn't call him evil. He's still young and whatnot, but he's definitely not good. So he's landing himself in neutral number 11. Moving on, at number 10, we're cracking into the top 10 now. These are some kind of bad people, you know? We have Mr. Penis Breath. At neutral, he's in part of Eagle Fang Karate. And the main reason why I think I put him so high up on the list in terms of being kind of on the badder side is that when everyone started to figure out where they are, whether they're in Cobra Kai, Eagle Fang, Miyagi-Do, Penis Breath was the one who was last willing to kind of jump off the train with Hawk. He was the one who was helping Hawk break Demetri's arm. He kind of liked himself as the bully, and he didn't really see what was wrong with it. So that's why I put him so high on the list, although obviously he's getting better. But I think that it's important on a list like this to think about the person's past, think about how they are now, judge them on their worst actions as well as their best actions. And I don't think Penis Breath has done very well in any of those categories. So moving on, number 9, Yasmin was one of the biggest bullies in school in season 1, and I think that she should still be held accountable for that. She hasn't really shown too many signs of being good yet, but obviously I couldn't really call her evil either. Her state right now is no, she's not, she's not provoking anyone, but she still has to be held accountable for some of the bad things she's done, so she's neutral, number 9. Moving on, we got Louis, who, I mean, he hasn't really shown signs of being no. His worst action really concerned me when he was finding some random bikers, getting them to trash and almost beat up Johnny is, with some serious equipment, is really concerning. And overall, his character has shown that if he didn't have a mentor like Daniel, he could have gone off the wrong path because he has this kind of general tendency to be a bit of an evildoer. That's why he's so high on this list. Moving on, at number 7, we have Tori, who obviously season 4 has redeemed her quite a bit, but you have to kind of understand, I guess, the thought point that she's still so young and she has to work multiple jobs just to help her mother stay healthy. Her relatives are a pain in the butt who just want her money, and all this anger gets channeled through her karate. But is she evil? Yes. I mean, no, I guess, but it's kind of justified in a way. Not that it's justified to do bad things if your life is kind of tough, but what really puts her so high on the list is using kind of lethal weapons against Sam and things like this. And obviously there was some picking on people that she did earlier, but I couldn't call her evil. I think there's still a good kid in her. You could see how bothered she was by the fact that her winning was fixed. And yeah, we see some signs of good character in her. I predict she'll probably leave Cobra Kai next season. Moving on, number 6, we have Hawk, who obviously now seems like he is quite a good guy and whatnot, but he did some of the worst things in the show. He was, I'd say, probably the biggest bully in the show, stealing the Medal of Honor from Miyagi-Do, from, Miyagi's medal, bullying kids, just doing some terrible things, beating people up and whatnot, and invading homes and stealing things. So Hawk has done some crazy bad things, obviously being naive and following the wrong mentors, but he still needs to be held accountable for it. But since he has made this full recovery, I'm going to put him in neutral, number 6, but he does need to be, like I said, held accountable for the bad things he's done. Moving on, our 5th most evil or bad character in the show is Chosen. Although he hasn't done anything bad in the show per se, I still want to hold him accountable for the terrible things he was doing in the second Karate Kid movie, threatening Johnny's life, threatening destroying villages. I know this was kind of by command, but he was going way too far. He was being a really bad bully, a really bad guy, really evil, one of the biggest bullies this universe has seen. So yeah, he still deserves to be number 5, but the more time goes on, I feel like he's going to start sliding down and down on the list as he starts to do more good things. But yes, Chosen number 5. Now, 4 people left. You guys have probably already kind of figured out who they may be, but the order is important. And first off, we got Robbie, who this season, it's a mixed bag, right? He's done evil things. I guess he's done a couple good things, tried to kind of help some kids, but overall, he's told other dojo secrets. He's beat people up. He has, I mean, going back to season 2, he broke Miguel's back, and what does he do? He runs away. He doesn't try to help. He doesn't take any consequences for his actions. I mean, he goes to juvie, but even then, it's just, it feels that Robbie has done too many bad things for me and been way too I don't know, selfish and whatnot, and I just don't like his character, to be honest. So it doesn't have to do that. I think he still is very close to being evil, but obviously there's a bit of a redemption story with him in season 4 at the last episode there with his father. But to me, I still see him as a fairly evil character. Not quite there. I still place him in neutral, but he's very close. He's really pushing buttons here, and I'm starting to think he may be just naturally evil. Next up, we got Johnny, who is our last neutral character, and I think a lot of people are going to scream, hey, look, Johnny's not that evil. Johnny's not that evil. But don't forget that he abandoned his wife, or maybe it was just his girlfriend, and his son for so many years. He started out of anger a dojo that he knew in his heart was bad for kids, and I guess he turned a new leaf on it, but Johnny has a lot of things that he still needs to redeem. He still hasn't made up his relationships with Miguel and Robbie, I think. So there's still a lot there. But obviously, I think in time, he's really going to kind of even out more with Daniel. But like I said before, would the old Johnny really pull over and help somebody the way Daniel would? I don't think so. So to me, Johnny is still, he's not evil. He has a good heart, but he still needs to work on it, so he's still in the neutral territory where he's still balancing out the good and the bad. Next up, we got KREESE, who is our first evil character. I know we only got 2 evil characters on the list, but I really was trying to be careful with the evil tag. But KREESE, the way he came in the dojo, manipulated everybody, and he's been doing it for a long time. Even his friend Terry Silver, he manipulated coming back to Cobra Kai. I think that KREESE really is one of those big bad bullies. Although inside there's something very different going on probably, he still needs to be labeled as evil, as he is, especially for his actions in season 3. Obviously, there's a bit of a redemption story for KREESE, where we see, like, his weakness has always been Johnny and all this, but no, he's still evil. There's still an incredibly long way to go to prove that he is good or even neutral. So we'll see. We'll see. But our number 1, our devil of the show, someone who's really never done anything well-intentioned, is Terry Silver. He even threw KREESE, an evil character, under the bus to start his mega chain of Cobra Kai, teaching kids bad values. And I don't know. For me, I think it was a fairly obvious devil. He was even more scary in Karate Kid 3, terrorizing this kid just to get some revenge. And I mean, we've also heard of his fair deal of drugs, and who knows what he does with his businesses, but Terry Silver is not a good guy. He's the devil of the show. And yeah, that just about wraps up our list. Let me know what your devil is, what is your angel, and let me know if you disagree with any of my picks. You can check out a video we made yesterday, which is just a general character tier list for season Cobra Kai up to season 4. So if you like this video, make sure you also subscribe and check out this video if you liked it. And otherwise, this has been the Third Win channel. I really like Cobra Kai. I'm gonna make a few more videos, I think, on season 4, so stay tuned for those. But without I've been rambling for long enough. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys very soon with another video.